and welcome to the 20th edition
Holy shit.
of the Jonesin on a Whim podcast. I don't think we have 20 listeners, but we've gotten to 20 on podcast, so at least we care. You know, that's a good sign. We're still doing it.
And so does Casey.
Right, and I'll get more to that and his request later.
Yeah.
Sorry about your house, sir. Love you, and see you soon. But we start every week. Well, I guess I'll lay it out for you. Maybe this is the first time. We have a Facebook page. It's Jonesin on a Whim. Do the search. You'll find it. The three of us are here. Harold, Stefan, and Art.
Yeah.
It's like our record 6 weeks in a row or something.
I know. I'm going to break the streak next week, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe we adjust to make sure that he's here. We'll look at that after this week, because I know a couple of listeners want us all in the room.
But scant viewing audience.
Right. And 51-second segment, I've converted into an injury recap segment. And to recap why I call it 51-second segment. It's I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I consider that the 51st state. Unlike no other part of this country, unlike no other city in Louisiana.
That is correct.
So I tag it as our next state. Maybe I can get some electoral votes. And oh wait, I'm not going there.
Oh.
All right. But so starting with the injuries, the Bills are bit again by the bug.
Oh man.
CJ Spiller looks like he suffered a sprained.
Was it shoulder?
I call it AC in the shoulder. What's A/C mean?
Cardio. AC, air conditioning in the shoulder.
Right, that's what I'm.
Yeah.
His shoulder's fucked. It's likely a 1 to 2 week injury, but good news on the horizon. Chan Gailey reports Fred Jackson will return to practice this week.
Hooray!
And, maybe not for you. They play the Patriots, I think.
Wow.
But do they? No, maybe that's not even right. I don't know.
No. Yeah, I think they do.
But
they do.
So,
I'm saying hooray for football.
Okay.
Oh,
hey,
hooray for good games.
Good job.
What's that?
His recovery has been amazing, as Chan Gailey has reported. Jonathan Stewart for the Panthers supposed to play this week against the Falcons.
Sure.
Drake or Patrick for Foley, even though he doesn't listen. You isn't expected to be ready until October 28th. Good for you.
Hey Foley, I got the CD you borrowed.
Yeah.
Or
good.
That I borrowed.
He's out till November, bitch.
You want it back? You gotta text me in the next 20 minutes.
He's out to November, bitch. This isn't live, but 20 minutes of me posting this. McGahee and Tammy suffered injuries for the Broncos. None of which of the severity has been released. Stafford strained a muscle in his right leg. From what I've read, I think he'll be back. We'll see. Who knows? Because the 2 leagues I drafted for people. I picked him in the first round. So, Collie will miss the rest. Austin Collie of the Colts. At least it's not a concussion this time. He'll miss the rest of the season. A ruptured right patella tendon.
No.
But this could, his brain can rest.
Yeah.
But
that's
speaking
a bad
of
injury.
Right. No, it is.
God.
But at least it's not to his head, which I didn't know if it was to his head that they'd been able to lift him off the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Wendell Davis of the Bears. He was a receiver. He cut on the turf and tore both patellar tendons, and his kneecaps were floating above his quads.
Well, speaking of ugly injuries, you didn't see the Saints game at all, but McCluster's arm bent at the elbow in some way it's not supposed to. So
the Rajon Rondo way.
Yeah. So I suppose he's out for the year. Laura Robinson for the Jags suffered a concussion. Hillis also in our game. Limped off he dropped the pass and just walked off limping. He's like, fuck this, I suck. It's not my
ton of faking injury.
Yeah, it's not my agent's fault anymore. I'm just not good anymore. He just fuck it, I quit.
Why doesn't he like the Chiefs? I mean, at least they keep their locker room clear of
right. No,
staff.
and if it comes up that it's a staff injury, that would be hilarious.
Cleveland people like, haha.
And my big performer from last week, of course, came up with an early knee injury this week. Reggie back to being Regina, but it does. They have revealed it's no structural damage, and he had 10 carries for 61 yards at the time, so he was rolling per usual.
Yeah.
So he should play this week. So don't jump on Daniel Thomas just yet.
Yeah.
And Bradshaw for the Giants. Bradshaw's supposed to be back. Hickson's supposed to be back, and Knicks are all three supposed to be back next week. And we'll get to their replacements later on in our fantasy segment.
Replacement. That's a dirty word these days.
It's a great movie, though. Revis out for the year. That was a wonderful movie. Don't even... Give me the ball. Give me the ball. All right. Revis out for the year. Torn ACL. That means the Jets are out for the year. Stephen Hill, they're probably that. Well, Santonio Holmes has actually stepped it up, and we'll get to that in fantasy as well. But Stephen Hill, hamstring injury, so he'll be questionable for the rest of the season. Haywood Bay for Oakland, resting with a concussion and a neck strain.
Yeah.
He was released today. So all I heard was he's expected to make a full recovery, but from life. I mean, does that mean this week? Is he going to play this week?
He was released from the hospital.
He won't
not released by the Raiders.
Right. But he won't make a full recovery this week. I always expected to make a full recovery.
He's going to need a week.
At least, I think. So what is this full recovery thing? He's not going to die.
They're talking about him like he's got cirrhosis or something.
Right, and it was like you said. These things are monitored more, except for replacement official. All right, integrity game, whatever. Okay. And then Jeremy Maclin, Andy Reid reports should play Sunday night against the Giants.
I ain't falling for that.
No, me neither. Adrian Claiborne was seen the pass rusher for the Bucks. Knee brace, he's done. Season's over. Kenny Britt, slight sprain, he's fine. But Jared Cook again, who I tout.
Oh, he got hurt
weekly.
He got
right. But after a wonderful 70-yard touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
So, but another AC joint. But this doesn't have a slash in between.
I feel like I should know this.
But he should be able to play in week 4.
AC.
This comes from Mike Munchak, so we'll see.
Okay.
And that concludes the injury segment. Again, a lot of them, I think they'll lessen as the season goes on. Or maybe not. But those, and I skip trenches.
Well, the list is just going to get longer as the season goes on.
Well, and I'm going to narrow it to, it's more fantasy stuff, and most of those were fantasy related. Especially even if they're defensive down the line, especially the quarterback enhances. Right, exactly. And with Tammy at tight end because Dreesen came in and scored a touchdown for Denver. So, and then that gets us into our Beltring. Oh wait, the entertainment news segment.
Oh no,
Chewbacca is in the room. All 4 of us are here.
I'm in mid-season Beltring form.
We go into entertainment news, which from past podcasts we talked about news entertaining us, but I've converted that to each of us choose our big performance of the week, and I can't find mine, so I'll start with one of y'all, whoever wants to go, whoever's ready.
I'll talk about Christian Ponder. I mean, the Vikings, I talked about it last week, how I have like a kind of sort of wannabe love.
A Percy Harvin passion. It's a passion project.
It's a passion project. I don't want to make the mistakes we've made in the past when we have these passion projects and we try to make them 9-7 when they're destined to be 6-10. But they have things going on, and they fought in all 3 games, and they finally showed up and caught somebody slipping they wasn't ready to play. And it just so happened to be the San Francisco 49ers. And Ponder was ready, man. Ponder brought it. He made a couple extra plays. I mean, not mind-blowing fantasy stats, because fantasy football has ruined everybody on actual football.
198, 2 touchdowns, and a 34-yard touchdown on the ground.
Yeah, but
I'll take that.
But
I missed that.
I missed that.
But people don't get excited until you say 300 and something.
Yeah. And I think mobile quarterbacks might be how you beat San Francisco.
Yeah, well,
might have found a niche.
It looks like it.
Whereas mobile anyone is how you beat New Orleans. Right?
No.
Sorry.
I thought we were gonna wait.
Who had 11 minutes as the over/under for when I was gonna drop a Saints reference?
Oh my goodness, just horrible. But yeah, Ponder was good.
Only one game behind the Patriots.
Oops.
Oh.
No.
All right,
let's run 3 games out of first.
Right.
But no, Ponder showed up. It was good. There's obvious people we can bring up, but I'll let you have those.
Oh yeah, he was one of mine, and you had.
I had Jake Locker. I mean, he did have big fantasy stats. I mean, in a big fantasy game.
Who saw that coming?
Tennessee and Detroit.
Who had that Tennessee?
It was a crazy game, but yeah, Tennessee, and I think I noted in my email that Chris Johnson is still doing absolutely nothing, and he got that offense going in a big way. I know Detroit's vulnerable, but still, Tennessee needed a spark, and he gave that.
Yeah, no, I mean, and he fumbled early, so Art and I were like, oh, shit.
Here we go.
We backed him. Now he's gonna let us down. But no, 29 of 42, 378, 2 touchdowns.
Yikes.
And he's been questioned, and I questioned him at that point. It's like, well, maybe it's time for Hasselbeck. Well, Art said, maybe they made a mistake there, and I agreed. And I said, maybe it's Hasselbeck. Let him have his swan song, win that division. And that's what I said to lead off the season. But I've always liked Jake Locker more than most. Those are big wins for both of those teams, the Vikings and the Titans. Both desperately needed wins. And for those young signal callers, those 2 second-year guys, to be a big part of that outcome, that's icing on the cake, if not lagniappe, if you will. I'm glad y'all both took those. Those were my 2 initial as the 2 second-year guys. But it's hard to have this segment and not go to Torrey Smith with this. And his brother died that morning, motorcycle accident.
Jeez.
And the Ravens are. I've kind of gone away from rooting for other teams other than the Saints, but I've always kept the Ravens as my second favorite team. And I bit my tongue all last AFC Championship. Art did too. We both did. Because we love you that much.
Yes, you should.
But, sure. You're welcome.
Yeah, every time somebody drop the pass, we're like, shit, I mean, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Your feelings are appropriate.
But he not only did he suit up, but he was big. 6 catches, 127, 2 touchdowns, and that big PI at the end. That only his route running down the field, him being that threat, and he's. I'm fine with having him as my big performer. AJ Green had a great performance too, but
yeah, Torrey Smith, he just had that extra gear last night.
Yeah, that was
impressive.
Yeah, it was wonderful, and he's mine, and I think those are all 3 really plaudable performances.
Yeah, it's hard to go beyond Torrey Smith. It's almost default in comparison in a crazy week. That's just huge to get him out there. And like you said, Baltimore, with the type of organization they have, you knew damn well if he played, they were gonna throw it to him until he did something with it.
And they didn't have to. He caught everything.
Yeah,
and Flacco is becoming grown.
Making grown man.
Yeah.
They got robbed last week. And I'll get to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
In these rankings.
Oh, speaking of that,
you'll get to them because I don't.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. But Arizona, look, man, 10-2 in the last 12.
I know. I know. I have
in the
them.
last 12.
Y'all don't have them where I have them, and I believe.
You saw. I got them in a good place.
I told you I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid quite yet.
I know, but that defense. Okay, well, speaking of that, we roll into our top 11, which are our power rankings for the week.
Yes.
And we don't completely agree. Thanks, Chewbacca. On number 1, but I think 2 out of 3 maybe have. Maybe I'm not sure.
No, I think we're gonna be disagreeing a lot now. As the season gets crazier and crazier, we're gonna hang on to some people and be ready to throw other teams off a cliff.
Yeah,
and I think that's gonna make it
kind
hard.
of doing that.
I
know I disagree with y'all on number 1.
I had to put the Texans at 1. I'm still not totally sold, but how could I have? And I say that y'all have, I guess, other people there. How could I have anybody else? Big win on the road. They got over the hump that is Peyton Manning's forehead. Previously 2-16
we need a drink
against them. 2-16 against him, and that fear alone.
That's a
and
mental
they went in there and they tried to blow it, but
they worked.
They didn't, and it was on the road. So they're my number 1 team. Previously they were second. So San Francisco loses by default. They jumped to first. And y'all both maybe have.
No, I
have the Ravens.
I have the Ravens because I just believe. So I have the Ravens.
Oh, you have
fools.
Believe.
Yeah. Well, do you want to? Are we going to talk about this now?
No, go through the Ravens.
Oh, are you done talking about the Ravens?
We'll do the Ravens because I have them second, so it's a good roll.
We talked about the Ravens enough. Look,
this guy is Oakland in the playoffs.
They borderline got robbed. Yeah, they got robbed last week, and then they kind of were a benefactor of a makeup call rob. And that's just another conversation for another time. But it's just these dudes are winning, man. And I don't see how they're. The only other team that I could see right now beating them is a team I trust less than them.
Right.
And that would be the Texans.
Right.
They're back to back.
Is this a call into the podcast?
You're right on time.
Is it?
Sweet, we got a caller.
We actually have a caller? Wow.
We are.
It's Kevin of R Bar fame.
Yes.
What running backs? Okay, I'll put you on speaker and have you ask that again. Hold on 1 second.
Uh-oh.
It's a question for Art. It's a fantasy question.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I need ad hoc brains? What I gotta do? Okay.
Are you there, Kevin?
I'm here.
Okay, what
Might have to repeat the question.
repeat the question?
Okay. What running backs might be available out on the waiver wire that you would want to pick up right now?
Well, that's
what
tough.
running backs might, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, he did.
What running backs may be available?
Yeah.
It's tough right now. I mean, it's starting to get tight because everybody's already done the let me go over here and pick up this backup and that backup. It's sad to say, but you got to go ahead and jump on the Shard Choice thing because nobody knows what the status is of any of the Buffalo running backs. I mean, they're talking about sweet Frederick Jackson playing this week, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to get excited about it. Then it doesn't happen.
Well, Bradshaw's cleared. Have people picked up the Giants guy?
Brown? Oh yeah, people jumped all over.
Okay, I figured that. Yeah, because he did a little bit in the prior week.
I think if you haven't picked up Brown, you should do it as like a stash. Obviously, the number one guy to pick up if somebody in your league didn't do a drafting stash is LaSure. Cause
he's got him. Kevin's got him already.
Okay, that's good. Because Kevin Smith didn't get a carry yesterday.
That is correct.
So that's important to note.
That's why they didn't get a win.
Yeah, somebody a little sneakier to reach up on is damn it, I just lost him. Khalil Bell is somebody I'm still thinking about. If Richardson's still out there, you might need to roll up on that.
We drafted him.
So
the St. Louis running back?
The St. Louis backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richardson.
Yeah.
So you might want to sneak up on that and be on the lookout for that. LeGarrette Blount is starting to get carries again.
He got that one and leaped over the guy. Doug Martin's looked every bit of what we thought he would be.
Doug is nice, but his carries have gone down consecutive weeks since week 1. So I'm just saying, at this point, you got to start getting cute and you got to start just doing a scoop somebody and stash them. It's hard to get somebody to pick up right now to start. If for some weird reason Pierre Thomas is on your free agent list, which happens depending on your league, good grief, pick him up. And
maybe Mendenhall is
and that's the one. That's the one I forgot about. Mendenhall.
Yeah, because he might not have been drafted.
He's another guy.
He's close.
Yeah, and they're on a bye this week, so it should be easy money. So you may not even have to use a waiver. Just wait till the waiver's clear, and if he's still there, pick him up and keep your waiver priority, which is something I do all the time. And if people aren't doing that, they need to think about that. And before you give up your waiver priority, you need to think, is the guy I'm picking up somebody that another person wants? And if the answer to that question is probably not or no, don't use your waiver priority. Wait till the waiver's clear, then make the roster move.
So is that good?
Yeah, I heard about 20% of it. I'll listen to it on the podcast tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Right. Thanks, sir.
See you Thursday.
Hooray!
First caller, and he didn't hear with the brilliance, the ad hoc brilliance.
It is the taped call-in show. See if we can figure this one out.
Right.
Well, we're taking calls now.
We're working. We're working towards a live. Right. We're working towards a live version, but we need listeners for that.
Yeah.
And I think we handled that pretty well.
Yeah, honestly, I think we do have listeners. I just don't know how the views are getting counted, and depending on how you play
if you look at it Facebook, I don't think
view.
it counts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's the hope because I'm dwindling. I'm fading as our Saints defense fades. But so we were on number 2.
So 2, I'm with the Texans. They survived the old man comeback at noon. So I mean, what can you do with that?
Right, and I had him 1, and you had Ravens 1, and we'll go to I guess
to my number 1.
Your number 1.
My number 1.
He's from Atlanta, folks. He was born there. Let me just preempt this with that.
But I don't remember it. We moved when I was 2.
It's not 2. You were there that long?
Yeah.
I smelled the stench on you.
Well, I couldn't walk, so
At 2 you could.
Well,
I hope so.
Then, yeah. Actually, I was kind
You
of
clumsy
I was
bastard.
kind of a late walker,
A late walker.
late bloomer.
And is now a late riser.
Oh yes, I still hate walking.
Ridiculous.
Number one, okay. What?
I got the Fool's Gold Falcons.
Okay.
Go ahead and
They,
talk about that.
you know, what convinced me probably the most is historically they have not been a good road team.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. 6-0 under Mike Smith on the left coast.
Well, they could do better.
That's historic. Could they?
They could do better.
They could play more.
They could do
They could. Well, they could. It's not like college. You don't schedule your own games.
Yeah, you're right.
They're undefeated on the left coast under Mike Smith.
State. Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. But yeah, this was a domination against San Diego, which is a team that I thought had some redeeming qualities, and I guess I still do.
I don't even mention them in my rankings.
Yeah.
And Oakland in the playoffs, people. This is what
hey, it could happen.
So good.
I put them at 3 because I always go to rank them, and I'm like, am I hating? Am I hating? Am I hating to have them right there? I'm probably hating to have them right there. Okay, let's see who. All right, but I don't believe with a straight face that they could beat Baltimore or Houston in a one night situation like a Super Bowl.
I have NFC teams that I know they couldn't beat, and
but yeah, so I'll wait and see on that because they're gonna have to show us that they're not capable of winning a couple of those games. So I don't think that they can because deep down I just don't believe that what they're doing is something they can do in an important game against a team with actual talent, which I don't think they've played any complete teams yet.
Right, and I have them 5th, up from 7th, and Fool's Gold maybe not. And a win like that on the West Coast, no matter how good San Diego is, you're right. They dominated from beginning to end.
Yeah, and this is, referenced earlier, there are only 3 teams that are 3-0. There are a lot of teams that were supposed to be 3-0 that are short of that.
Right.
True. So, you know.
No, they're looking like the 49ers from last year at this point. They might have the division locked up week 10.
Yeah.
Because no one else in that division wants to
be competent for more than 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah,
I thought the division was good. Why? Why do you suck?
And none of these teams are getting blown out. The Carolina went to the Giants on Thursday night, which Thursday night games are an aberration. But
and now it's gonna
I thought it was in.
It was in Carolina.
It was in Carolina.
Oh, so at home. So, yeah.
That was their big show, like first national game in a while.
And they laid the egg that they should have led. So,
So
that covers your 1, my 5. You have them 3rd.
So I'm already down.
You have Arizona 3rd, right?
No, I have Food.
You had them 4th. Okay, I have Arizona 3rd.
Okay.
Up from 7. I think it's time to start really believing in this team. I think the defense we were always sold on.
Oh yeah, we were.
But against a pretty good defense, the Eagles' defense, Kevin Cobb, their backup quarterback, is very efficient against his former team.
Good game.
17-24, 222, 2 touchdowns, and sacked 3 times as opposed to like the 7 that they normally sacked. So
3 sacks, awesome.
And he's their backup. Skelton, I do believe, is better with the team, and even more importantly, he realized, oh shit, the best receiver in football is right over here. Let's find a way to find him.
But they've beaten a couple good teams with Cobb.
No, I know. Well, you're right.
Skelton get his job back?
You're right. Well, Cobb looked a little better this week than he did against that Patriots. That Patriots win, and that's the thing is those are 2 wins you can't discredit. And the Seahawks, if they do and are what we think they are, that's 3 big wins for us. So 3rd for me. I'm not sure that they stay there, but until they don't, then they're a top 3 team.
Yeah. Let's see. Are we doing it by numbers?
What do you have Arizona?
Where do I have Arizona? I had them 11 last week. I have 7 now.
Yeah, so they're moving up.
They are.
I moved them up 4 spots as well. So
that was another dominant performance.
Yeah.
That was their first dominant performance.
That's true.
Really, yeah.
Well, like
but still, I don't think they could do that. But I didn't think they could do that.
Yeah.
It's the first impressive win. Their 3rd impressive win. I didn't think they had it in them to just run away from a team.
So I don't know who they play next week, but they're poised to jump to the top tier.
No, it's
they can get
it's a winnable game.
It's a game. Yeah, it's a 4-o'clocker. It's
Dolphins.
They got Dolphins.
Yeah.
So
we'll get to those picks going forward.
Yeah.
No Regina equals. Well, go ahead.
Well, no, he's gonna play, but it doesn't really matter against that defense. So you have them up to 7.
Yeah.
And where Arizona 6 for you?
I put Arizona up to 4 because because they just kind of stomped out the Eagles. They were like, okay, you know what, guys? We don't care. Y'all are going to be struggling in this game, and you better not have a turnover, or we're going to blow this
Right.
open.
When they jumped on
the turnover blew
it was fumbles this time instead of interceptions.
Yes.
That's how good this defense is.
Well, Vic got caught not counting to 11 on that fumble. I mean, he just didn't see the guy at all. He didn't think about it. His clock wasn't going off. Nothing said, hey, there's a guy coming, and he got hit.
And Vic's on call now. It's Nick Foles looked too good in preseason. So.
On pace for 64 turnovers.
And
he won't get a chance.
And Andy Reid, who supports his players, was not so supportive today. Not clearly supportive. We're gonna roll with him now.
Yeah,
Like we're gonna
We're with Vic
a
now.
little backhanded subtlety.
Right.
It was subtle as a sledgehammer. It's basically, he was nicely saying, "I will bench this guy."
Right. No, I mean,
I ain't trying to lose my job.
and they honestly, and when we'll get to them, but we'll just wait till then. Number 4. I had Green Bay last week. I'll keep them there. They have them. They're playing now, so I don't want to move them, and I jump some teams in front of them. But I expect we'll learn a lot about the Packers and the Seahawks tonight.
True.
And so I'll keep them at 4. So I'm not sure if y'all have them ranked or where you have them.
I got the Packers 5.
Yeah, the Packers 5. Y'all see, like I said, we're starting to get a little bit further and further off. I believe in them a little bit less than both of y'all do because I have Atlanta 5. I don't think Atlanta's better than them today. Yeah, I see the thing about Green Bay is I feel like they're just they're Atlanta with a Super Bowl ring. Like they have the stuff.
I agree.
They can win some games in the regular season, but when they get in the playoffs, the issues are going to get them sent home.
They're Chicago with a more mobile quarterback. I mean, actually, Chicago's got a better defense. But Aaron Rodgers is, he is what he is. And if he wasn't their quarterback, other than Tony Romo, they're not winning football games. Their offensive line is that bad.
Ooh.
But he is, and he's young, so he can run around, and he's got the weapon. They go 8 deep at receiver. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's why they could consider trading Greg Jennings.
Douchebag double check.
Yeah. Now, Stefan, you had him at
Ding,
5.
ding.
I had him at 5.
So I both have them at 5, I had them at 4.
Yeah.
And I have the Falcons at 5, so we talked about them. Who do y'all have at 4?
Let's see. I don't think I said who my number 2 was. That's Houston.
Yeah.
Who's got to be near the top. And then I have Baltimore 3.
Okay.
Impressive win last night. I mean, like you said, they were not losing that game.
No.
Right. No.
But they look more complete.
You said they were the
Offense
most
and
complete.
and
No
defense.
weakness, I think you said.
I don't see any weaknesses, and still I got them 3rd. So okay. But
No, that's fine.
and then I got the Niners 4th. I think losing to Minnesota was just an aberration, even though I didn't see the game. But I'm just going with that.
No, and I dropped San Francisco.
Where did you put Frisco now?
I dropped them to 7.
Okay.
I can't drop them any further.
Yeah.
A loss on the road to Minnesota is forgivable, but Alex Smith took a step back this week, and I'm afraid this will become a weekly trend. I really do.
And that's why I dropped them a little bit below New England, even though 1 and 2 is not a death sentence with their schedule. It'd be one thing if they were 1 and 2 and
their schedule. These teams look. This division all of a sudden, like we said last week.
Some sneaky teams.
There's no off week. There's no bye week.
Yeah.
Right.
Even St. Louis at home.
It could be.
It's formidable.
Yeah, and suddenly 10-6 might not be good enough for the division anymore.
Sam Bradford had a 3-point quarterback rating, but this is what I expect from him.
He came more back to the normal now.
I believe I did call that last week.
Yeah, I can see
or every week.
Or every week. Yeah, I mean the Niners.
The offensive line is putrid.
It is. If we're gonna talk about the Niners now, look, man. I don't know if that was a fluke loss or not because it's one of those chink in the armor losses. You show up and have a couple 3 and outs, the other team randomly makes a couple plays, and now you're losing 10-0, 13-0. That team, I hate to say it, but they're fucked if they're down 13-0 against anybody.
Right.
Because
it's not a
Gore, Hunter, Jacobs, they're all. You can't go there anymore. Alex Smith is
very well from ahead.
Is there, and Randy Moss was wide open. He overthrew Randy Moss
twice.
At least twice, exactly, in the end zone once.
And Randy was like, "Wow, I came back for this."
I'm telling you, he's trending downward again.
He's struggling, man, because it's one thing to make a couple of throws when you're up by 10 and you just need to make a couple of jackass throws to get a 3rd and 5. It's another thing when you got to show up and you're on the 18 and you're down 13 and you got 6 minutes to go in the half and you need to get your ass in that tunnel with a touchdown and you need to make some grown man throws. You need to make some grown man decisions, and check down Charlie and punting the ball is not going to work.
No.
I don't know if he's that guy.
And this is the Minnesota team that I believe lost to Indy.
They lost
and barely beat Jacksonville.
Yes.
Yeah, they lost.
So
yeah,
and what's his name? The white
Peterson?
scumbag defensive end.
Jared Allen.
Did nothing in those games.
Oh, yeah.
He dominated yesterday against the line. Well, no, I think he's done nothing all year.
Against the Niners line, really?
Right, because Niners line is good.
Yeah.
So I need to look at those stats. But so that's what I'm. Maybe that's more my point. Is he was still silent and Smith was still running for his life, or just out of.
Because he got to the point where he couldn't check it down and punt it off because they needed to get points. And so he took some chances, threw some picks, overthrew some people, underthrew some people. And it's like, man, that's scary. Because just like we said, they gave him tools because they believed in him. And this is the first week where he owed them something and he didn't pay him back.
Right.
And this is against Minnesota, which I'm arguing because I kind of like them that they were one drive away from being 3-0.
Right.
I mean, Luck doesn't have that squirrely drive at the end. In that game, they're 3-0.
And they played.
I mean, they played two bad teams, but
and maybe not so much, but two of the lower tier.
Yeah.
We're
gonna find out a little bit more, but I think that team is gonna show up and fight every week, and you show up slipping, they'll beat anybody.
Right.
That's just proof.
Right. And so San Francisco, I have 7. You had 4 still,
and I put them at 6 because I'm afraid.
Okay, and that's a good segue to my number 6 since we've gone up to 5. I've dropped the Eagles to 3rd. I don't want to drop them too far because I have Arizona at 3. But
so you dropped the Eagles where?
To 6th.
6th. Okay, you said 3rd.
Okay.
From 6 from 3. 6 from 3.
All right.
So I didn't want to drop them because I have Arizona at 3rd, who just beat them.
I had no problem dropping them.
Right. But but honestly, this is a team that could easily be 0-3. Their first 2 wins are by a point each. So, and no picks for Vic this week, but a 46% completion percentage and taking 5 sacks. That's the same as throwing 3 picks almost, depending on the circumstance.
That's probably why he took so many sacks.
Right.
He's like, I don't want to throw a pick.
No, but he usually doesn't.
I gotta wait for these people to get open. Oh.
So I dropped him to 6th, and like I said, this could be an 0-3 team right now, along with. Oh yeah, that other team. But we'll get to that later.
I got New England number 6.
New England number 6.
And I know that's my team.
Do you have Philly at all?
No.
Okay.
New England.
You have Philly at all?
I don't have Philly at all.
Okay.
That I'm about to bench
2-1.
starting quarterback situation is a problem.
Well, that's fine. So New England, you have 6th.
6th. Yeah. I mean, I actually don't hate the team.
Your second
right
home,
now.
Outside of Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Give me a sharp object here.
You don't have to take it.
I like what they're showing me out on the field, but they're not quite getting it done at the end. Baltimore scored 10 points in the 4th quarter last night. That shit does happen when you're at the other team's stadium, but you got to finish. So fortunately, their schedule's easy this year, so I think they can still turn it around and get a decent record.
Okay, so you
Take
that was your number 6, right?
Yes.
I have him at 8. I kept him at 8.
Mm-hmm.
Losing to the Ravens at home last night. I'm not hanging him for that.
And
The Ravens weren't losing that
and
game.
beating the spread.
And it took
The Ravens weren't losing that game.
And it took them kind of getting hold.
But I have one request. The phasing out Welker shit, can we kill that?
Well, he can't help but catch 9
5 for 95, 8 for 142 the last 2 games.
Right.
It's over with. I mean, stop media. That Belichick's not the evil person. Even Cowherd's still screaming. It's like, come on. Belichick wants to win no matter what. He was groping officials last night. He wants to win no matter what. He doesn't care if he's on a 1-year deal.
Belichick does have...
Edelman gets a touchdown as a fuck you to Welker maybe, but they're using Welker when it counts.
And Edelman hurt his hand, so we'll see.
Yeah, and Belichick, I mean, he does have his way of doing things. Remember when Welker made all the foot references talking about Rex Ryan?
Oh, I'm not a fan of Welker. You know this.
I know this.
So,
but that was hilarious.
Right.
But
it is.
he got benched for the first quarter of a playoff game.
Yeah.
As a result.
Because they had
they lost.
Right. Oh, I have my principle. No, you're just a fucking dick.
Yeah.
And it costs you games
Belichick's
sometimes.
an asshole. Yeah. I'll definitely.
But every head coach needs to be in this league.
Yeah, and everybody knows that Belichick's an asshole.
Right.
So
if you make him
speak
show
out,
that.
if you give him reason
Right.
to, it's on you. You
Right.
know what he's going to
He
do.
thinks he's cocky enough that he thinks I can go on without you. A guy like Edelman usually can, but I don't think Edelman's got that. But so I have him 8th. You have him 7th.
Who? New England
Patriots.
6.
Okay.
All right, I have a 5th. 'Cause I still believe, and now
Fifth,
they've avoided the Jets so far. They've avoided the Jets so far, and as the Jets deteriorate week by week, those are going to turn into even more. And then by the time they play San Francisco, I don't know what's going to be going on with them either. I mean, that's week 15, so it's. That schedule, looking at it, I'm looking at the schedule right now, and it doesn't pass the eye test. It's something that I'm
Just going to be
scared
done by
about
week
right
15. That's,
So I think 1 through 8 we're all covered. I think.
I had Arizona 7 and,
we-
and Giants 9.
Okay,
Or, I'm sorry, Giants
1
8.
through 8 because you have the
Yeah,
Giants at 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. I don't have the Giants ranked just yet. They're knocking on the door though, but the injury bug, which I think they're going to overcome this week. Looks like a lot of guys are coming back.
Yeah.
And their backups have been more than serviceable. But
Yeah.
Over the
I don't have them ranked.
I have the Giants ranked, and it's not so much that I put too much on them making us all wrong, or making me wrong at least, and beating the hell out of Carolina and embarrassing them at the house. And they may have just sent that team into a complete full tailspin of 3-13 if they don't recover from it. But if you got coaches that are prepared and you can get ready when you got half your team and you can accomplish that type of stuff, and you got the players to do a plug and play when it's Monday or Tuesday, and you realize, you got to play Thursday and these guys aren't going to be ready, and now you plug in these relative unknowns, and it's like, man, these unknown dudes are magically coming up with these supersized performances. I mean, Barton was awesome.
Yeah.
Brown was awesome. And those cats looked like they needed to be somewhere starting for somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, who the hell is Barton?
Yeah, who the hell is Barton? And he's a monster. And it's like, this is a guy that you can't find a time to get him on the field. And you think about it, before Ryan Grant came over to Green Bay, he was basically
cut by the Giants.
He got cut by the Giants. And so I see these trends, like, they have talent besides the guys and besides the guys you're looking at for fantasy.
And
that's good. That's important.
Well, that's why the 2 Super Bowls they won.
The secondary.
Well, the 2.
Yeah, well, they keep losing
core
you
reps
guys.
is shit, LSU. But no,
I said depth, not the starters.
no, I know. But he's healthy. No, but that's what you find with this team is they don't stay healthy all season, but their depth that is forced into playing time gets that experience, and then by the time the playoffs come, they're the hottest team in the league. So they never miss a beat. So you have the Giants 9.
I put the Giants in at 7. I mean, that's one of those teams that I put in that y'all didn't have. So
Okay, so
I have Green Bay.
You have
at
the
8,
Eagles out.
and I have the Eagles out.
Okay.
I had the Giants 8th.
You have them 8th
8th, yeah.
for the same reasons.
Eagles are out for me too.
Okay.
I got the Bears 9th.
Okay, Bears 9.
Yeah, they kind of did what they were supposed to do this week. So I'll give them credit.
Well, after last week, we didn't know what they were supposed to do, but I understand.
Yeah.
'Cause I think Art and I value St. Louis a little bit more because of Jeff Fisher and because of their first 2 weeks. But Sam Bradford's a dumpster fire, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But I don't have the Bears ranked.
You don't have the Bears ranked?
No. Do you have them 10?
I have them 9th too,
9th.
because I'm kind of thinking, well, if they're gonna win, we talk about teams winning games they ought to win, and we went into that Rams game thinking, well, they'll probably win that game, most likely, yeah. But at home so far this season, they've stomped people.
Right.
So they're 2-0 at the house, and
No, and the loss to Green Bay is
yeah,
it's forgivable on a Thursday, no less.
yeah. And you get out there
When
on
Forte
that-
leaves in the third quarter, too.
Yes.
Yeah, no, and yeah, I could see they'll work that way. I need them to go on Monday night and beat Dallas, and then I'll certainly rank them, and that's what they have in front of them.
Got you.
But
right.
so 9th for all of us. Have we addressed 9th? I kept Seattle at 9 because they haven't played.
Okay, and
So-
I had Bears at 9. Yeah, Bears
I
at
had
9.
Bears at 9.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I have Seattle. And, like I
who
said,
got at 10?
My number 10 is San Diego. which means
because you like it. Because Atlanta's won, and that makes sense. No, that makes sense.
I think San Diego's not that bad, and therefore top 10.
And my 10 is.
And San Diego translates as a whale's vagina.
Yes. Thank you, Ron Jeremy. Or whatever his name is. Is that right?
It's Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy. Ron Jeremy's the porn star, I think. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's Ron Jeremy?
Oh, yeah. I never heard about that.
Yeah, I never heard of Ron Jeremy. All right.
So, 10th, I have the Jets. They won't be there next week. 11th, I have the Vikings because of how high I had the 49ers. And as good as the 49ers looked in those first 2 games. And this is a team that's getting better and better each week. And they're doing it with marginal performances from their best player. Peterson hadn't broken out yet.
No. Yeah.
So,
but he had a solid game considering who they were playing.
no, I agree. But it's still a marginal performance. But I suspect they'll fall out as well. And the teams like Chicago, teams like the Giants, the Bills, hopefully, Cincy maybe will jump into my rankings. So let's roll out you're 10 and 11, right? You fucker.
Yeah, I'm not buying Minnesota. I'm a fan of the
That's fair.
Any given Sunday theory. You know, just because
I just wanted to acknowledge
doesn't
him.
mean you're good.
Because they crowned those fucking Niners and somebody needed to throw them. And that was nice. I like that they did that.
My number 11 is Denver.
Who's your 10?
San Diego.
That's right.
Wales, Virginia.
That's right. Losing to the Texans at home is unforgivable in my book. So I couldn't rank them. I don't even mention them. Those punk bitches.
Well, my reasoning was they beat Pittsburgh, which is not a bad team.
Are they? They just lost to Oakland. But you have them as playoff team. So
yeah, that's right.
There you go. I'll help you out. Right.
But they lost to my top 2, Atlanta and Houston. So I got to give them 11.
That's fair. No,
that's
your
fair.
rankings. That is fair.
That's fair. That's very fair. I've been dying to rank Cincy, and with all the injuries they have on both of their lines and just all over, for them to have RG3 pretty much locked down for most of the game.
Some of those 31 points they scored.
In the second half.
No, Cincy needs...
He could do better.
Cincy needs a lot of work on defense.
Yeah,
and
they
until
do,
they do.
But they held them down for quite a while.
Right.
And considering... I mean,
we held Kansas City down for quite a while. You heard it?
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Right.
Well, never mind.
Just saying. Right.
Yeah, but I have Buffalo 10th because I'm hanging on to the dream.
No, I have them.
No, I like that.
I have them basically 12th.
Because if Steve Johnson is alive and he's actually going to be capable of playing a whole game instead of being out there limping as a decoy, then that's kind of important. And if Tashard Choice can show up and get 80, 90 yards rushing.
90 yards on 12 carries.
Yeah, so you get that. You get a Fred or the real CJ2K back on the field, and they're going to have a chance to finish strong.
Yeah, no.
The real CJ2K would be CJ Spiller. But, yeah.
No, I'm fine with that, but don't leave Freddie J so quickly.
You know I like Fred.
Don't bury him yet.
And
they got them both as
and to end that, Steelers, shame on you. That's all I got. You don't lose to Oakland. I think it was at home. Maybe not because it was a 3 o'clock game.
It was a 3 o'clock game. It was in Oakland.
But either way, you don't lose to them. I'm sorry. Even though it's Stefan's last wild card. I'm never going to let that up.
Hey, I picked the Saints to win the damn Super Bowl.
We all did. We all did. And I'll get to that in my diatribe later on.
Oakland.
Hang on for my diatribe. And then, okay, so on to I think we've got everybody's 12, 11.
Yeah, we got 11 all
covered.
Yeah.
All right, so on to the Whim hits, weekly picks.
We didn't mention Dallas, by the way.
I did a little bit.
I didn't put them in the top 11.
They're on there. They're not, but they look pretty mediocre at home against a not so good Bucks team. So even though we'll get to the refs.
They proved me right with not having the offense to cover a 7-point spread.
Romo was lucky to be breathing today. You need to watch. He got the shit beat out of him. It's like 5 calls hit to the head that should have been called. They should have won that game by 30 on personal fouls alone. Mm-hmm. But Shiano's taking advantage of these punk ass refs. But back to the Whim hits weekly picks. We pick against the spread each week. This current week, I'm 6-9, as is Stefan and Arta.
Woo. I'm 6-9.
3-12.
I'm surprised I did that well.
So,
I thought I did better last week than 8-8. But
you did. You went 8-8 last week.
I thought it was better
This
than
week. Yesterday.
Oh, I was 8-8 with this week's games.
No.
Oh, the previous week's games.
Right.
I
No.
thought
You're 6-9 of yesterday's games.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Yeah, that I believe.
Yes. That's what I said. You and I 6-9.
I was saying last week. Yeah.
Last week you went 8-8.
Fuck.
And so we on to this week. Start with the Thursday night game. Cleveland goes to Baltimore. 12-point dogs. I never take the Browns, but I will on this one. Sunday night game for the Ravens leads up to a Thursday night game, and this is a bit of a rivalry. Cleveland still holds a grudge, not these players, but their fans, and not that will help them in Baltimore. But Ravens, that was an emotional game for them.
That was
all around.
You got to expect some kind of letdown.
Yeah,
and I'm going with Cleveland.
I think they'll still win, but 12 is a tall task.
Yeah,
12 is a lot to ask because Cleveland makes games ugly and slows them down somehow. So
yeah, as long as Whedon doesn't wet his pants, with the Ravens D, which was for 3 quarters it was beatable last night, and then they toughened up. He's
Right.
Fourth.
Right.
But, you need a blank piece of paper here?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I'm all electronic these days.
So
I'm going paperless.
you're just too cool for school.
yeah,
Too drunk for skunks.
we will guarantee that Baltimore will win by 37 by all saying that. Cleveland's
So we all
cover.
it's a sweep.
I got the Browns.
Okay. And then the next one on the list, another double-digit line. Tennessee comes to Houston. 12-point dogs after beating Detroit. You know where I'm going with this. Give it the Titans all day. I might bet my house on it. I don't believe in the Texans. I never will. I don't care if they go 60-0. I want to like them, but I just hate their fan base. Not the immediate fan base of my friends that don't fucking listen anyway. But this city gets annoying when they're good, and it should be the other way around. It should be a happy place. They get cocky. They've accomplished nothing as a franchise ever, and they're already 3-0. Crowning themselves, and I can't. It's getting old, and it's only 3 weeks in. And I think Tennessee was going to win the division, so of course, 12 points. I'm taking the Titans.
Houston's not only won every week; they've covered every week, so I'm continuing with that.
No, and I have the same.
I think the
outlook
the
with
Titans
other
coming
teams.
off an emotional victory against the Lions and have a letdown.
Yeah.
Houston.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about football.
It's NFL. It's NFL teams.
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
not like the Titans are that bad.
No, they're not.
And
Russell Wilson.
And
The power.
and Golden Tate being healthy. It's just a big line. If it was 7, I'd think about it. But 12,
Let's go Tennessee.
I mean,
I don't know anything about football.
you learn this when you start picking
this
games.
week might have, 3-12.
And this is one I have no idea. San Diego goes to Kansas City, and they're 1.5-point favorites.
San Diego's.
Yeah.
San Diego.
And Kansas City is one of the harder places to play.
Yeah, I don't like either one of them. Ooh, that's a good throw.
And they,
I got San Diego.
you have to.
Yeah.
They're in your top 10.
The Chiefs' only win is against.
Right. Don't hate. Even though I hate on your Texans, I'm not hating on them. 12's a big
I'm not
number.
hating, I'm just mumbling.
On a rivalry, that's a big number. 12, that's a big number.
Hell yeah. They're still gonna cover.
No, and I won't be in the bar. God, they get 5-yard gains. Cowboys fans too, and they become the Steeler fans at mezzanine. It's unbearable.
Oh.
Cowboy and Texans fans. It's no, me. It's unbearable. Stay in town and you can witness it. It's unbearable.
Not this week.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be here, but I ain't going. I'm done for a fucking shit ton of time. I'll take the Chiefs. They beat us. They gotta have something. If they don't, well, fuck it.
Didn't you see my note in my email today? The teams that have beaten the Saints are 0-6 in their other games.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I haven't done the math on who the Patriots have beaten in their one game, but
Hey,
Now, horrible.
the team that you picked? What do you got, Art?
No.
KC San Diego.
I don't like either one of these teams. I'm gonna go San Diego because
I picked Zona to cover against
I don't
the
know.
Patriots.
I don't know anything.
So
about
did
football.
all of us.
Because you just do it to reverse jinx. I know you're gay.
I'm not reverse jinxing.
You
14
are.
was too much.
Yeah. No. Oh, that's true. It was 14.
Yeah.
That was disrespectful.
I don't know anything about football. San Diego. I have no idea why. I hate Antonio.
Just I want me to catch up on that.
I'm gonna go find.
They love that
Antonio-
Rosario guy.
I'm gonna find Antonio Gates. I'm gonna punch him in his face.
Carolina goes to Fool's Gold.
Uh-oh.
7.5 point dogs.
Oh.
That might not be enough.
The Fool's Gold.
Yeah, I'm taking Carolina.
Because you can't take Atlanta.
No, because you
bounce
get Steve
back.
Smith on turf. You get these guys. One of those two running backs, Jonesin Stewart comes back, and they didn't. They have their full throttle, their full arsenal that they had against us. They didn't have that against the Giants on a short week. They could run on Atlanta, and
Can they?
and everybody they're healthy on offense. They weren't healthy against the Giants on a short week. So I'm not trying to convince you.
No, it didn't work anyway.
Well, I know you're
I'm-
taking
I'm
Atlanta.
riding the
Your
Falcons
birthright.
train. That's right. Till they burn me,
Yeah, no, that's fine.
which they might this week.
They'll burn you week 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Week 2, they'll get a bye.
Fortunately,
And they'll lose
It's a long
like
season.
35 points. No, take it for 16 weeks.
so they'll go 16-0.
Right.
Yeah.
Losing the first round of the playoffs.
Right. That's their MO. There goes Cobb.
I have no idea with either one of those teams, man. I'll take Atlanta because they're at home and they've been
Welcome
killing,
to the dark side.
They've been killing everybody. And I know
Not at
nothing-
home.
And I know nothing about
Denver
it.
came all the way
As
back.
Sharita calls them, the Angry Birds.
Yeah. Seattle goes to St. Louis. -1.5. And y'all know where I'm going, so we'll
The
just,
power of Russell Wilson.
Yeah, we know where Art and I are going.
I'm going with St. Louis.
Yeah.
Sam Bradford. Man, that is racist.
That's not racist. That's Indianist.
It's a good thing you're not racist, because man, I can't imagine what you'd sound like then.
No, you have no idea. I just hate bad quarterbacks.
Yeah. Oh, he's a bad quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think,
3.5 point rating.
I like how they play.
QBR.
I like how they play in the dome. So. Yeah.
No, you're right.
I'm doming this one.
All right, dome it up.
Dome
Done
it up.
and dome.
That's nasty.
Then we moved to. I was back and forth on this one. San Francisco goes to the Jets. 3.5 point favorites. I tried to find lines that gave us a half, so we wouldn't get burned on some of these.
I got San Francisco. Harbaugh's going to be kicking their ass this week after that Minnesota game. Jets are like, shit, we lost Revis. What do we do? I know Alex Smith has regressed a bit this week, but yeah, I think they bounced back.
Yeah, and this is one of the games I had the 49ers losing when I gave them 10 wins. So I'm sticking with it.
All right.
And I know there's no Revis, but there's Alex Smith. So it's not like the passing game will matter. So I'm sticking with. I had to stick with my guns. I'm a man of some integrity. So right, don't me.
Hey, that was an affirmative.
That was an affirmative. Okay, good. All right.
Nah,
So
Harumph.
so I
correct, sir.
have to stick with the Jets.
All right.
I have
Even sans Revis.
I don't know anymore. San Francisco.
Stop saying that. You're gonna go like 13-3 this week.
Right.
You know.
Well, no, but then one of us will. It's he's bouncing back.
If one of us can go 3-12, then one of us can go 12-3.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, Art.
Now New England goes to Buffalo. 5.5 point favorites.
Ooh, man.
I'll lead off. Fitzpatrick looks good again, and Cleveland's defense is no slouch. And 5.5. I see this New England winning by 3, maybe late. The kick doesn't go over the crossbar. And this is just me. I have Buffalo winning 10, but I have them losing this game. But close. This is maybe a 4-point loss.
Yeah.
But Fitzpatrick, I saw him Sunday. He looks like first 8 weeks of last year. Again, he's comfortable again. Spiller gave him that, but if Fred can come back, and Deshaun came in and ran the ball effectively, and Mario Whims is awake. And we'll get to that too. He had his. He was much better.
What did he get? 2 tackles?
1.5 sacks.
Oh, nice.
2 knockdowns. So, and that New England line is about it. You know all about it.
It's
so
a little patchy. Although
Yeah.
there were a few times in the Baltimore game. Brady was just sitting there in the
right,
pocket.
and that's because they drop back too. That's them not The front four does the front three. With Baltimore, it's a front three at times.
They are.
So
yeah.
So I'm going with the Bills again.
I actually
not winning, but covering.
I have the Bills doing the exact same thing. I think they're at home, and New England just is not blowing people away thus far. So until they start doing that,
and Art knows nothing about football, so
therefore he'll go with the Girl Scouts.
Sweep it.
All right.
Sweep it.
Buffalo.
Yeah, they lose, I think, and they
That's
but they
Buffalo
cover.
with 2 Fs.
But okay. Then Minnesota goes to Detroit. Dome teams play.
Ah.
We don't know about Stafford yet. I think he's gonna play.
What's the line?
4.5. Detroit's favored by 4.5 at home. And I'm gonna ride Minnesota right now, just because I don't know who's gonna. I love Sean Hill, I do,
Yeah.
but I again like this previous game, I have Detroit winning by a field goal. Hanson's been money for Detroit. He certainly will be in the dome. It's a late field goal for Detroit, maybe 27-24. Ponder still plays well, but it won't be enough. They're outshot by the Lions. But Minnesota's not a bad pick 'em.
I think Detroit covers.
Yeah.
I'll pick them. Going with my regression to the mean thing. Minnesota had a big win this week, and Detroit had a bad loss.
Right. So no, there's adversity. Not adversity, but
Ooh.
this is the top of the helmet. But
Things are really weird for Detroit because they gave up a lot of points, but there was several special team / defense type scoring. They didn't just get nobody. They didn't just have a bunch of drives. I mean, they had the crazy Nate Washington touchdown. They had the snatch the ball out of Pettigrew hands touchdown. They had the Music City Miracle part dude.
Yeah.
And then they also had the random 100-yard kickoff return. That's 4 jackass touchdowns for them to lose a game.
See, I'm giving him.
I mean, that's insane.
but
That said,
Percy Harvin plays in Minnesota. No.
I do not trust Detroit
Guaranteed.
as far as I can throw them right now. They've looked shitty all year. Unless Mikael LaSure is way better than I think, I'm going Minnesota.
I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's good enough to keep Kevin Smith on the bench the whole game. But
I don't understand that either. But
No.
I'm not the shitty coach that
and
is.
not just because I
Jim
heard Kevin
Schwartz,
Smith
what's his
on my
name?
fantasy league.
Who can't explain the final play of the game when he said they were not trying to jump off sides, but the quarterback clearly stepped back to forge forward. The guy's a dumpster fire. That said,
That dude's a dipshit.
that said, I haven't been in this championship. So I field goal win for me for Detroit. I think on to the darlings, the new darlings of the NFL, at least the left coast. Miami goes to Arizona. That can't be right.
Arizona's not on the coast.
But they're on the left side.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? The left coast. They're
Right,
over
yeah.
there. You know, that's what we call it.
Sorry.
The
Give me a
west
hard
and left.
time.
Oh,
Yes.
God. But I think
You don't have to
this
take
is
that.
wrong. Arizona's 6.5 point favorites over
Over
the
Miami.
Right.
Yeah, that can't be a minus for
No,
Miami.
no.
So Arizona finally getting some respect.
Right now, I wasn't sure they could beat anybody by 3 points, but because they hadn't, and those
and they beat Philly by
10
20.
wins, I don't think they had
There's been a lot of really, really
before
good
now.
Miami's
But,
at Arizona.
Yeah, but Tannehill, he's gonna make mistakes, especially on the road.
Yeah, I got Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rolling with them until they kill me.
Z.
It's 6.5, and I think the touchdown to 10-point win
Arizona.
for them, and so we move back to Denver. You still have in your rankings,
Yes, I
and
do.
you might still too. I don't remember.
And what are they doing this week?
They're 5.5 point favorites over Oakland, who just beat the Steelers.
And Denver's at home.
It is in Denver.
Oakland.
I can't stand. I don't think Oakland's very good. McFadden got going, but I don't believe in Pittsburgh either. So I don't have them in the playoffs. So why would I believe them? I have Denver in the playoffs. I have Oakland winning 5 games. So
Yeah,
5.5 at home, bounce back. Peyton losing 3 in a row. I'm not trying to convince you, but that's. And they doesn't have to win. He could win by,
Yeah,
not
these
to
NFC
lose.
West games are. It feels like they're usually pretty close. I have no data. To
No
support
McGahee,
that.
no Tammy.
Yeah.
Oakland should keep it close, but
they should. But yeah, I'm going Denver.
Yeah, I'm gonna root for Payton for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, let's go with the old man.
And then we go to Jacksonville, where Cincinnati's only 1.5 point favorites. Yeah, we're never going.
Really?
Yeah, only 1.5.
Only 1.5.
Well, they won this week. They beat Indy.
Indy, yeah.
Who has been competitive in their games, but their games weren't very.
I think I went through, and then I'm going to go with Cincy.
Right. No, there's no thinking needed.
They're like a 7-point better team.
Right.
And even with the home
Their
field.
defense needs to be fixed, and Gabbert's shown a pulse, and a pulse that beats pretty strongly these days. But yeah, I'm with you. I've got Cincy in that game. In a shootout, that Cincy's defense is broke, and Marvin Lewis
what the hell happened?
Can't fix it.
Yeah,
that's what he's supposed to do.
And being
what is Mike?
I don't even know what are the injuries. Now?
Is Mike Zimmer still the D coordinator?
Yeah.
What the hell is he doing?
No, because I don't know what injuries. The rookie corner.
Maybe Fuller could tell us if he was listening.
Right.
Damn you, inanimate microphone.
Right. The rookie corner. What injuries? I mean, they seem pretty healthy.
Yeah.
On defense,
I don't know what's going on. Although Washington's going to probably be in a lot of 30-something to 30-something games
and then we'll get to that. And I agree.
Actually, all three of their games have been like that.
And I don't see that stopping. I just don't think they can stop.
Score 500 and give up 500.
Right.
Go 6
which is where we're headed. Which is where the Saints are headed, but 6 would be generous. So our Cincy minus 1.5 at Jacksonville.
Cincy.
Wow. We're just aligned right here.
Yeah, well, none of us have. We haven't opened.
We're not kicking ass.
Maybe we figured the league out. It's been 3 weeks. Maybe we got it down.
We'll see.
I know less than.
And okay, so this is. I'll do it last. Actually, we'll go on Sunday night. The Giants travel to Philadelphia.
Oh, did you skip the afternoon
I'm
game?
going to. Well, I'm gonna.
What about this one?
Later.
Okay, now that's the one we talked about. All right. Washington goes to Tampa Bay.
For another 30-something.
3-point dogs. 3-point dogs in Tampa.
Washington is.
And yeah, and we, you made a point about Washington, but Tampa's made a lot of teams look bad.
Yeah.
And lost, but they lost to both. But the Skins, like you said, they score no matter what. And I trust their offensive more. I mean, come on, Josh Freeman. I said Sam Bradford had a 3-point rating QBR.
What was Freeman's?
Freeman's is 5, and he finally admitted, Art, that you're right. The guy's a dumpster fire. He's garbage.
I don't think he threw for 50 yards.
No, it was like 100. It was like 100. Yeah, it was like 118.
I thought it was less than that.
It was 118.
But
did they have a drive at the end?
At the end, he racked
And they dump it off to Doug Martin.
Because they were like,
that was all dump offs to Doug Martin.
They were like switching from other games to that game, and he had 39 yards.
Right.
Yeah.
And granted, going into that game, Dallas was like third because they got an LSU guy corner. And Mike Jenkins all of a sudden is playing as a nickelback. He's playing really well. So they fixed their secondary problems. But can those guys play offensive line for Dallas? No. But it's Washington +3 at Tampa.
Yeah, I'm going with the Skins.
Yeah, so am I.
Sweep it.
Yeah. I mean,
that's 4 in a row.
Because they
Four
can.
sweeps.
Because they can. They'll, like you said, they'll score 30. And Tampa, I'm not sure can ever score. I don't think Josh Freeman
they did against the Giants, but
did they?
It's
right. That's right.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't know about the Giants. But
they had a couple bombs.
Yeah.
It was.
I like Tampa, but I don't trust them. So therefore, I'm going with Washington.
Yeah.
Who I like a little more.
Well, their offense, he's going to score.
Yeah.
He's found way he runs if they shut down his. He's got a lot of weapons too. But
we'll see what happens when Freeman can sit back there without any pass rush.
Right. Well, that's very true. And he had some moments in this game, and I don't know that he's capable. I think he's done. I've said that since last season. Josh,
he's a bottom.
He's bad. Well, what scares me is Simmons has moved on to Russell Wilson. We jump ship first to Russell. We never were on Josh Freeman's ship, but that scares me because you read his picks. Him and Cousin Sal, they know nothing.
Yeah, he's insane.
It's like they don't watch, or they're drunker than me when they do.
Probably so.
It's really fucking bad. But anyway, so Sunday night game, Giants travel to Philly, 2.5-point dogs. I think they're going to rally for Vic at home. I think that when Reed came out and said, we're with it for now, I think this team will rally for Vic. And again, I have the Eagles winning the division. I have the Giants right on the outside. So I have to take the Eagles here, and I believe it.
Philly's downright schizophrenic.
That's why all these teams are. They're 8-8, 9-7 teams. That's why we had them all around that point. But home game in the link.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Giants because they seem to thrive in these areas.
But it's good. I need to catch up with you on my picks. So that's good.
Yeah, you don't want me to just make
right. You're running away.
Yeah, I got Giants.
I really. This is gonna be a really crazy game, man. The Giants have the ability to give up big plays. The Eagles rely on big plays.
And Macklin will play.
And I don't really like Macklin. But he's important for what they do.
And he was great.
Vic, you get people whispering about benching your guy.
And they're going to play for him. They're going to play for him. And that's why Reed did it. Reed never going to bench a guy for a rookie. He just wants to wake up his locker room.
Yeah, like, hey, we were 2-0 getting away with this. We got spanked.
And they could be 0-3, but the Giants could be too. I mean, let's not.
And Philly got
except for the Carolina, it could be 1-2.
Philly got beaten by a team that we're just now realizing is pretty good.
Right.
It appears that way. Let's go Eagles.
And finally, Monday night. Not finally, but Monday night, and then finally. Chicago goes to Dallas. 3-point dogs. I thought about this for a while, and as y'all will as well. And
when I saw it, I just I hope we don't even ask me about that one.
I don't know. I'll take the Bears because of that pass rush, and if the Bears if we feel the Bears are better than Tampa, then they'll at least cover the 3.
Yeah. Normally I would go with the Bears because I think they're a better team, but it's prime time.
You didn't watch the game.
I do not trust Jay Cutler in prime time.
But you didn't watch the game either.
I did not.
The Cowboys.
Apparently that benefited me.
Yeah.
And Forte may be back. He's not going to be back. No. But I have no idea this is going to be a game that could be 10-9.
Or it could go ugly one way or the other.
I just don't know. I don't think either offense is going to be able to sustain anything because the defenses are so good and the lines are so bad on each side. The offensive lines are so bad. It's going to be be bad.
And if you go that angle, it's like, well, who's more likely to just get tired of things being?
I think Dallas can win. I think Dallas will win this game. I just don't think. I wish it's a 3.5. And it will be by the time.
That would make it easier for Chicago, but I'm going with Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Dallas because I just assume that the Bears won't handcuff.
And the Bears are just lucky in these games. They get turnovers and they score on these turnovers. And
when the lights come on, Jay Cutler sucks ass.
And
that's my experience.
And I think both of these coaches are shit, but that doesn't really matter.
Dallas is averaging, I think, right now, 14.3 points per game the first 3 games.
Right. No, that sounds about right.
So that's why
you took him.
No, that's why I had to think about it. Because I'm like, well, if you only score 14, how can you cover?
And both teams have strong special teams too. So
they do. Yeah.
So that's where it'll be decided. I think.
Yeah, I'm just not sure about that. Cowboys.
Yeah, no,
I'll just take the home team.
And final game,
Oh, you saved this one for last?
Yeah, because I can go for that trial.
Last being the operative word.
Right.
How dare you?
Sorry.
You only wanted 2, sir. No. New Orleans goes to Green Bay. 6-point dogs. Just 6. That's an early line. I don't see how it would change. Because what if they lose? It won't go up. I mean, so this was this morning, and I'll do my diatribe and then make my pick.
Go to it.
And I know I downplayed the loss of Sean Payton for the season, as I think we all did.
We did.
We obviously had him.
I thought it would have a slight effect.
Right. And not because I underestimated his impact on our football team, but because I may have overestimated the value of some of our team's leaders. Watching these first 3 games, I honestly don't think we're getting exactly outcoached, but outperformed and outplayed. The defense is bad. That's obvious. But we've won shootouts to lesser teams at home in the past. The recent past. Drew is pressing because he feels bad for holding out, and Sean is in there to slap him silly and tell him to get over it and just play and use the plethora of weapons we've assembled over the years. Honestly, who else would slap him? No one else. The entire team and coaching staff, not named Payton, are scared shitless of Drew. And it's not all on Drew, but as the $100 million man, $40 million this year, the blame can reasonably be laid at his feet. He doesn't play defense, but with $40 million, maybe he should. Of course, that's unreasonable, but so is the team being 0-3 right now. I think a start would be to limit what Spagnuolo is trying to change about our defensive scheme and get back to a little bit of what we did last year. It wasn't the best, but it was adequate enough that we won games at home that we were supposed to win. This team should be 3-0 right now, traveling to Green Bay for a goddamn NFC Championship preview. Instead, we're a joke, and a cheesy and not so goddamn funny one at that. We better start winning some games, because if not, I think Pity King is right. The fans of New Orleans are going to blame Roger Goodell for this, and his Super Bowl trip and week in New Orleans, he will absolutely not be able to leave his room. And you know what? I'm totally fine with that. We miss our coach, and not only because of his fear factor, but nonetheless, this may be the first time in a long time I'm ready to cash it in before week 4. And heading to Lambeau, I'm not sure I don't want to just call it a day before it gets really ugly. And did anyone out there hear my request for the Sean Payton reality show? If nothing else, I can watch him suffer with me. That I would enjoy. Not his suffering, but the fact that I know he loves what he's built as much as we do. And watching it be torn down is heartbreaking. We're better than this, even with our now undoubtedly and necessary leader on our sideline. And with that, New Orleans +6, please. Green Bay for me. And until they show me any semblance of a team, I will pick against them.
Yeah, with the Saints, it's been a coming together of a lot of crap. You know, the Breeze holdout, the suspensions, not having Peyton there. I don't even know the name of the acting head coach, the offensive line guy.
Drummer, yeah. We're not we had been our coach, I don't think. Because I've watched the games, obviously. And
it's not like they're getting killed.
No, I've liked the decisions. They've made the right decisions.
They're just not stopping people, and
it's defense.
I can't lay that at Drew's feet or up his ass or either or. You know, it's.
But he's pressing. He's throwing late. He's making late mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's fine. He shouldn't have held on. He shouldn't have been a punk bitch.
He sees how bad the defense is, and that. You know.
He's pressing.
Yeah.
But we've been through this.
Yeah.
We went through this last year. We gave up 20 points a game, which is about where we are now.
Yeah. So I'm off the bandwagon as far as picking them for covering. I'm going with Green Bay.
Just 6. What the Vegas loves us. I don't.
They do.
Do they think we're still America's team? Because that's fading.
Well, they're trying to set the.
It's fading.
They think America loves the Saints, so they're setting the line. Yeah, where they're going to get 50-50 bets on either side.
Well, yeah, that's a part of it, and then there's a certain amount of. Even when you turn on the TV, people are like, well, damn, 0-3, really? What the hell? But people are still kind of thinking, well, we've seen this team, and we've seen...
It's the same guys.
We've seen the personnel. We've seen this defense bend and not break, and even sometimes they crack a little bit and still don't break, and then Drew and them come together and they drop 35-38, and they win the game 35-32.
We were up 24-6.
Yeah,
we wanted to the 4th.
Yeah.
But we couldn't convert. So
Charles had the long touchdown right before the 4th.
Right, but
so yeah,
we're a 6.
It was 24-6. Yeah.
But that's a bad touchdown. That's a you can't give up that touchdown type of touchdown. Like, you don't let a guy set the edge on you and come around the corner. I don't care if he's fast. I don't care if he's tricky. It wasn't tricky. It was like I came around the corner. Everybody sees me coming. 90-yard touchdown. It's tough to watch. It's tough to believe. We talk about the replacement refs. I sideways mentioned this before the season started. Like, what if if these games are close and they miss a couple of calls, what if they miss a couple of dozen calls? What if they miss
Ravens Patriots?
Yeah, what if they miss half a dozen calls every game? And what if some of these calls start getting kind of belligerent and the Saints in situations where they need to win by 10 or 12 instead of 2 or 3 to win? And I agree, that's a lack of leadership. Somebody, like we talked about this last week, somebody that they believe in needs to show up and start cussing. And they need to have a look on their face like, what are we doing with this talent? What are we doing with this team? What are we doing for this city? We cannot lay it down like this. We cannot lay it down like this. But it looks like they're dead set on laying it down like this. It's hard. I can't take it as far as to say I'm folding the 10 on them. I really can't take it that far. I want to believe it. But right now, I don't see.
I'm dumping the ice out of the cooler. I'm getting ready to fold the 10.
You love Atlanta, bitch.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I'll wait till it's over before I want them to prove to me that this is over.
Well, and this season, the perfect scenario for them to start 0-3 because we're down to 3 undefeated teams. People are nobody's. There's not like this point is like 8 undefeated. Right, there's been like 10 or 12 undefeated teams at this point. There's not. The parity is ensuing. So if they figure out whatever magic there is, and again, like
parity
I said,
or parody.
Well, no, I mean, right, but I don't. But
sorry, I threw you for it.
That's ridiculous.
But the rest of the division is bad, and Detroit's, not just Detroit, but along the NFC, there's only 2 undefeated teams in the NFC, and we believe in Arizona now, we believe in Atlanta now, but who knows going forward? But
next week,
I think we
might not
right.
believe in either.
I think we definitely play Atlanta twice, so that gives us that. But yeah, I don't know, but +6. In Lambeau, 3 o'clock game.
Can I ask a question about the leadership?
I can't take it.
Vilma's suspension's been lifted, right?
He's on PUP.
Okay, so does that mean he can show up in the locker room and read people the riot act?
Right.
Is he doing that?
I'm sure.
Do we know?
But he leads best, and this is me contradicting myself. But I don't know if he's been on the sideline. I don't know if he's allowed yet because it's still under review.
PUP,
but it's still under review because he met with Goodell and he's waiting to rule.
I could certainly see him staying off the sidelines as a respect move for Goodell.
Week 1, he certainly was.
It's like, I know you suspended me, so I'm going to stay off.
Week 1, he certainly was.
Until this gets sorted out. So, okay.
But it's
because Vilma, for all his slowing down with the old age and
he's the smartest guy on that defense.
Yeah,
I know.
They got to miss him.
If he plays weak side, he's on the field and he's calling out calls, and we need him. And we played without him, but he was on the sideline, and we've been over this when he was hurt last year, and what's his name came in. He's now with the Rams, but
I'm not saying that's the entire problem, but
no, I think the entire problem is Spagnuolo tried to implement his defense in full. No, seriously, on defense. That's one of the parts.
I was agreeing.
Yeah, I don't know, but I never know what the. There's no.
Maybe I need a 2-syllable.
He's trying to implement all of it, and I don't want to.
You know what it means if I stroke my chin like this? Like, man, that means you're full of shit.
Right.
I wasn't doing that time.
No, but I think he overloaded him with it when he should have done it in parts, like Mike Nolan's doing in Atlanta. He's not imparting. He didn't even impart in 3-4.
Yes, the #1 Falcons.
Yeah. So. But anyway, so Green Bay sweep, and that's it for the Whim hits. And now Stump Stefan, you son
excellent.
of a bitch.
Give me your bitch.
And for this week, we're gonna play a new game on the trivia. It's what number am I? But also,
I have a 1 in 99 chance.
Right. Well, it's my favorite. It's my favorite game. Where did you go to school as well? What did you go to college? We'll start with your. And I wasn't gonna do the NFC North or NFC West because they're on the television, and you're prone to not
watching
cheating.
The game.
But right. So we'll start with your AFC West East.
Nice.
So we'll start with the Bills and Mario Williams, number and college.
What is he wearing today?
Yes, not with because you know what he wore with the Texans.
With the Texans he wore 90, but he changed it.
Right, that's why trickery.
Yeah,
Fuck you for hating the Saints. I'm sorry, fuck you for hate for loving Atlanta.
He hasn't had a lot of tackles this year.
No,
so,
he's been
he
non-existent.
has gotten a lot of camera time, but the number that's sticking out for me is 94.
That is correct.
Thanks.
Where did he go to school?
He went to NC State.
That is correct.
I have a lot of friends who went to NC State.
This is, I'm sorry for them.
Yeah.
And now,
don't worry, none of them.
We'll go to the opposite side of the ball. This one's pretty easy, I think. CJ Spiller.
Oh yeah, he's 28
years old, maybe. What's his number?
He's number 28.
Okay. Where'd he go to school?
He went to Clemson.
Okay, good job.
All right, thanks.
And now on to the Dolphins.
Fresh fish.
Devon Bess.
He wears 15.
Yeah, and catches just about as many of those balls a game.
Yeah.
And?
Where'd he go to school?
Yeah.
Fuck.
He was a monster. There, when he was. And I'll give you a hint.
I have no idea where he went to school, really.
God, who was the quarterback when he was there? He was a Heisman runner-up. That won't help you.
No. Texas Tech?
No. Texas Tech guy was a Heisman.
Yeah, that's right. They threw it for 5,000 yards and they finished.
But this school does too. This school does too. They don't do it as much now. It's
Arizona?
No.
I'm floundering here.
Further. Well, it's.
Oh, an actual West Coast school?
No, it's really. That was the West Coast.
You don't have to take that.
No, but
further? Like
no,
Hawaii?
Did somebody? That's it.
Oh, awesome.
That is
When I
correct.
said West Coast and you hesitated, I was like, wait a minute.
No, that's because what the quarterback, the Asian guy? Yeah.
No, he wasn't Asian.
But he looked Asian.
Oh.
Come on, I would have stopped being discriminatory now.
Chung or
Wasn't it Chung?
Ching,
Wasn't it?
Or
Wasn't it? He got picked by the Redskins because Shanahan thinks he can make everybody.
Tommy Ching or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. Tommy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, it was Best.
Tom Best played for Hawaii. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Best was awesome there. He had the dreads then too.
Oh yeah. Okay. Nice.
Now on defense for Miami, Cameron Wake, their best defensive player.
Cameron Wake, their best defensive player, wears number.
I think he's new to them. I don't think he is.
93?
Nope.
Fuck.
90s are correct.
Yeah. 94?
Lower.
91.
There you go.
Okay.
Where'd he go to school?
Fuck.
I didn't know this.
Cameron Wake.
I thought he went to Florida State. I think the Wake threw me off, like ACC, Wake Forest.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess he didn't get
the big scandal just happened there.
Penn State.
There you go.
Okay.
All
skipped.
right. Yeah, he doesn't want us to know. He doesn't want us to know either. This is an easy one for the Jets. Mark Sanchez.
He wears number 6.
And we know where he went to school.
To Pete Carroll University, where he throws you under the bus when you go pro as a junior.
Pete Carroll does, not Mark Sanchez.
Yes, Pete Carroll.
All right.
You never see a spoiled children.
Right. LaRon Landry. Also pretty easy.
LaRon Landry. 30?
Yeah.
And he went to LSU.
Yes. Okay. Now on to your Patriots.
Oh, I got to get these then.
Yes. Kellen Winslow. The number might not be.
Newly signed.
I know you probably know the college, but I'm thinking you knew the number.
82.
That is easy. Okay.
And he went to Miami.
Right. And Deion Branch newly re-signed as well.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him last night. I'm like, hey, how's it going, Deion?
Yeah.
He wears 84.
They needed a slot receiver.
And he went to.
I've told you this many times.
Well, it wasn't LSU.
No, but I'll tell you this.
Notre Dame?
No, people have asked me a lot. I don't know why I know this. I just always known this.
Deion Branch.
Do
you know, Art?
I do not know. And we talked about this. You have mentioned this before.
Yeah.
Branch. Fuck.
I will not cheat.
My university starts the first 5.
Oh, really?
6 letters. 5 letters.
Oh. Yeah.
Louisville?
Yeah, that's right.
Another gift. Thanks for
and
that.
now Stephen Gostkowski last for the...
Gostkowski, the kicker, wears number 3.
He does? Where'd he go? I didn't know this either. I
Oh.
didn't know this.
It's probably a better known school than Vinatieri's school. which was University of North Dakota. Gostkowski went to. See, if I'm going to get it wrong, I got to get something else wrong.
Okay.
That's how I roll.
That's fair.
Gostkowski.
Give you conference?
Because
I know the conference.
Let me think for a sec, but I'm probably not going to know it. Gostkowski. Was it Minnesota?
No.
No? Okay, then I don't know it.
Conference USA?
Oh, shit.
D'Angelo Williams went there.
Oh.
You don't know where D'Angelo Williams went?
I don't think I do. Shit.
It's in Tennessee. Conference USA, it's in Tennessee.
Louisville again?
No, that's...
That's Kentucky.
That's Kentucky. I think D'Angelo Williams was the last guy to come out of there that was other than him.
Decent, yeah.
I think, right?
Schools are in Tennessee.
I don't know what.
They're really, really, really bad now. Like Tulane beats them bad.
East Tennessee State.
It's Memphis.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Walking in Memphis.
All right.
Wow. You didn't really want that when you.
No, he didn't believe in himself there.
You needed to bring it home. I didn't think you really wanted.
Then on to the state of the art. That was the Stump Stefan segment, which he did very well, per usual. No, you got lost it. Right. State of the art fantasy segment.
Yeah.
Actually, I put that in the wrong place. But what did they ask you? The first trivia question was how shitty are these replacement refs?
They're pretty shitty.
But
ding, 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 ding,
yeah,
ding.
Correct.
I think we've covered a lot of it.
I believe they are unconscionably bad.
Oh man, I did
The word for the day is unconscionably.
Yes, it's always whatever I have.
Or it's just bad.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
But so fantasy questions. We had one Colin. That was wonderful.
That's pretty good.
But and on to that, I think we talked about the Andre Brown.
Yeah.
Pick him up. He's already been picked up, probably.
A lot of people did that.
Ramses Barden. Did we talk about him, the receiver?
Ramses Barden. I don't know
For
if
the
you want to
Giants.
do anything with that or not, though.
Because they all come back.
Because everybody's back. Hickson
Right.
is back and Nix is back. So,
But you said the short choice. We should add him.
so short choice, you need to get on that because who knows?
Regardless, right. They're both. Spiller's going to miss time, and we don't know when Fred's going to be 100%.
Yes.
So, on to the Matt Stafford injury. I think he'll be fine, but Sean Hill worth an ad if you took that first round pick. And I love Sean Hill. It's my personal, and all those weapons, but I'll let you go. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, there's worse things you could do.
Right. But if he were to start Sunday against, who do they play?
Who are they playing? They are. We just looked at this. Who are they playing?
If he were to start Sunday against Minnesota at home, would you
can
start
see
him
that.
over say
I'm looking at
the bottom half, like
I'm looking at
quarterbacks that are available?
That's what I'm looking at now. Let me pull up.
Say a Russell Wilson against. We could just roll through it. We could gauge.
I mean, Jake Locker and Christian Ponder.
But maybe.
I like Christian Ponder.
Well, they both. Well, and Locker had it. He said
Ponder. I like Ponder more than I like whoever starting for
against
Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ponder over a backup at Sean Hill.
Yeah, either one.
And maybe even.
Because if Stafford is trying to limp out there just to not be the I'm hurt all the time guy, which there's a high likelihood he may play just for that.
Yeah,
because he was hurting a lot through this game that he was even in, and they just finally pulled him like, no.
And Locker's at Houston, so you stay away.
Yeah, you got to stay away from that.
Yeah.
Where's you can't play
Tannehill against Arizona, Cobb or whatever against Miami. You don't want to.
You can't risk that.
No.
I mean, you can't deal with Palmer at Denver.
I can't big deal with Palmer at all.
Especially because of picks.
But you got him in the playoffs. Whatever.
Hey, he's gonna lead him.
Yeah, no.
With picks.
Oh.
Well, Shaw could throw 4 touchdowns against him. Maybe Palmer can.
No.
But I don't think Schaub's numbers were.
Christian
Passing yards weren't.
Christian Ponder is sitting there waiting for
yeah.
you to pick him up, and that's what you need to do.
Okay, so that's where we go there. No Sean Hill. grab upon it. Because, I mean, and he ran the ball. He ran a touchdown, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's a little fluky, but he still ran.
He's not above taking off,
right? And he does have mobility. So with McCluster, who
and this is at Detroit, by the way. I mean, come on.
right,
Yeah.
it's dome to dome, you know, and McCluster went down with what I could only perceive as a serious injury. Does that enhance anyone on that Kansas City offense?
No.
19 targets in 2.5 games.
I know.
Baldwin got more targets going forward, so
Yeah,
he dropped a
but-
couple, but
Yeah, you can't deal with that Kansas City offense. You pretty much Bo or Charles or you let it go.
okay.
There's nothing else to be dealing with on that team.
Yeah, they don't play the Saints again anyway.
You just
But they
have-
might play the Patriots down the line.
Oh
Yeah, they
sorry.
might. That's true.
Sorry.
Gifts given. Okay? So Tony Holmes finally wakes up, 9 catches, 147 yards.
So, yeah.
Is it time to trust him?
No,
Why?
because you must be out of your mind if you trust in the
they
pass and
play again?
offense. Yeah, the
Oh, the
pass.
Dolphins.
Yeah, the pass
Dolphins
and
are good
offense.
defense.
Yeah, but the pass and offense of the Jets can't be trusted from a week-to-week basis. Dustin Keller is going to show back up at some point,
He's still hurt, yeah.
and when he shows back up,
Stephen
he'll be
Hill.
target.
Stephen Hill's hamstring.
Now, Stephen Hill being hurt does kind of help the cause. And Santonio Holmes, in most cases, I mean, he was to the point of not getting drafted.
Right. He's the
As a
best
number
athlete
one-
on the team, which
as
is
a number one
ridiculous that he
receiver.
just doesn't care to play.
Yeah, and that's the issue. And you never know when they're going to bench him. And that offense is just not something you want to be dealing with their receivers on. I couldn't trust them. There's weird people that are on the end of your bench that you should be starting.
So bye week started.
Bye week starter.
Okay.
How did Holmes have numbers like that? Sanchez had a bad game. I mean,
Well, he had a manageable game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
went to.
I was checking up on him while I was traveling, so I guess I didn't get the whole story. But you know, quarterback throws for like 220 yards, and one guy has 140. That's unusual.
Right. Because they tried to throw to Tebow.
Yeah,
Twice. And he hit him in the head. Tebow couldn't.
throw what to
If it's
Tebow?
not a Bible, he's not catching it.
And Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah. No Bible. I mean, he wasn't catching it. So you might have mentioned this last week. I think it was an RG3 mention, but Andrew Luck, he's averaging 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, just about a game.
Yeah.
And he had 50 yards rushing last week.
Which
Nice.
is nice.
Is it time to maybe maybe you had Stafford, maybe you had him stored in your bench. We're starting this guy now,
I don't think you should be too upset about doing that for yourself.
and it's
because
TJ, it's Ty.
T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah.
Or,
T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah,
Oh, T.Y. Hilton.
for
Yeah,
them.
Kid's
He's
fast.
and he's getting long touchdowns.
And Reggie
Is he
Wayne.
not?
And Reggie Wayne is
But Reggie's
sustaining him.
Reggie's
he's-
getting the.
I mean,
the
pretty much
PPR.
80 yards.
He's getting his.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80 yards a week is going to Reggie Wayne. I mean, Luck is a good quarterback, and it doesn't look like they can sustain a running game, so he's going to be thrown.
But is Brown still hurt, or is he still?
Nah,
he's
he's
just
healthy.
banged.
He's healthy. He's just not good. I mean,
He's banged.
She bang. She bang.
We touted him early on.
Yeah, but I think we may be wrong. I'm
well,
not
it
sure.
happens. I mean,
Yeah.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm
But
glad.
who cares? Nobody's fucking listening. It doesn't really fucking matter.
They're all watching the Packers.
We don't listen to our goddamn
Because it's
selves.
live.
I listen. That's why I was realizing the listens must not count.
Oh,
That's
Donald Driver.
a wow. Once in a lifetime.
Yeah, that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was Finley. You know, I saw the ball drop.
But yeah, Andrew Luck is okay.
I'm playing against him. He would grow up that down.
Andrew Luck is worthy of starting.
But over, is he top 10 yet?
I think. Well,
But now we're getting to bye weeks because we do have Pittsburgh and
Yeah.
Oh, when people are off, he's
right.
I mean, I think he's an auto start. I mean,
We have
that-
Pittsburgh and Indy on the bye week, so this
I
is
mean,
not the
there's
best week that I
no.
think I'm up with.
It's kind of right now with the quarterbacks. We said we'd get into it after week 4 and we'd wait, but man, this sacred cow ideology about quarterbacks, man, you got to start looking at the numbers again because
Right.
again, fantasy football comes down to numbers and not. I got this dude starting for me. Look how cool I am.
Right.
and not who's more athletic or
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the numbers gotta matter. So
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think. So, all right. One last. But we know the answer. But is MJD going to escape the holdout bug? Calvin Johnson, the Madden curse.
let me cuss. Fuck
I wanted you to, right.
Yeah, fuck
I wanted to give you
Jonesin.
that for him,
Yeah,
so I had to do it. I had to do it.
This is bullshit, man. This is the most illogical. It does not make sense.
Because he plays fantasy. He drafts himself. I love that.
It's just, man, if you did that, maybe it was the second, third round, okay. At that point, he's kind of staring at you like you got no choice. But if you did that with your first round...
Stefan, what'd you do in your draft?
In my draft?
Hey.
MJD.
Both? Yeah, how many times?
Second round.
How many times?
Just once.
Oh, I thought you said twice.
No. Second round once.
Second
not
round
first round
once.
twice.
Okay.
See, second round...
No, I thought you did second round twice. But
But
still.
I just don't know.
He was kryptonite to me. I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know how people were taking him in the first... And it was people taking him and not even taking Jennings. And they
Right,
getting away
that's-
with it because Jennings is hurt.
Yeah.
It is so illogical. But that's just...
And then the backup to the backup got hurt. Everybody's getting hurt but him.
But
Their
yeah,
other backup got hurt.
That's just all...
He gets one carry and he gets hurt.
You're like, oh, wow.
Yellow bitches.
So I have no idea. Jones,
Nah,
he's fine. Maddenker's still holding up all right. It looks like it's cursing.
Stafford's curse.
It's
right.
cursing
You
the rest of
mentioned
the
that
team.
yesterday, yeah.
Eventually, it may just get to the rest of the team. So,
Yeah.
but Calvin is now he has his 10 catch, 160 yard,
Every week,
one touchdown game. So he finally got a touchdown, and he's still averaging 6 or 7 catches and about 100 yards a game. So if you drafted Calvin, you're getting away with it. That's why I was saying if somebody comes at you wanting to trade him and you don't care about the Madden curse, take Calvin, please. It's too late to get Larry now.
And like I said, I love Sean Hill, but I thought if he's the quarterback in San Francisco right now, they're probably 3-0. But
Yeah.
because he was before, and but whatever. That's Harbaugh. Harbaugh would have. I'm not going there. It's just, we're running out of time to even do that. Mm-hmm. So we move on to the Twitter segment. This is interesting for all of us. The Sheik is attacking new people.
Yeah.
The DJ Ware worse than Coco Beware and the Honey Boo Boo.
Oh, yeah. He's
DJ Ware. We don't like. Is that DJ Ware? Is that running back that?
He used to be with the
Tampa?
Giants.
Oh, it was pretty good Tampa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's with
Now
Tampa.
it's
We were. When you and I were like, what? DJ
Yeah.
Ware still in the league?
Yes.
And Miami try to be real team, but we see what happens.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know. So he's watching his football. This one's curious to me. AJ Green, medicine?
Yeah.
Question mark.
I saw that one.
Is that
I
like
was
steroids? What does he mean?
AJ
I
Green
don't know.
medicine. Only he would know what that means.
Right.
I think,
Only
yeah.
he's gonna
And
know
then
what
he
that means.
then he attacks college. Denard Robinson of the retard Robinson. Tell me, this is a new approach. Or have a good day.
Oh.
It's usually
no,
tell
no,
me
no,
or go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So either way, tell me. Oh, but if you don't, just have a good day. He
Have a good day, right?
I filmed my Iron Sheik documentary today. I am the real Iranian legend. Forever. That's a documentary we must get our hands on.
Clearly.
Yes.
And
if he's filming that.
yes.
I'm sure it's real.
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck iPhone 5. You need the Sheiky Baby t-shirt instead. Otherwise, you're worse than the Honey Boo Boo. He's going on to attack a 4-year-old.
Yes.
Which, yes. But I got to get this one in. Romneys, like the whole family, plural Romneys, have no balls, and he believe in Tooth Fairy. I believe that's true. Honey Boo Boo, dumb bitch.
Wow.
She's fucking
She's
3.
4.
Of course she's dumb.
God.
It gets better. Fuck the Honey Boo Boo. She is dumbest bitch in the world. I hope she break her back so I can humble her. With the bang a 3-year-old, 4-year-old?
It's getting worse.
It's,
He's off the rails.
No, then he attacks Muppets or puppets. Elmo real or piece of garbage? Question mark. No, Elmo's a fucking real. I'll answer that for you. I love you, Elmo. Now, my last one. Now I do the Sheik talk. Tell me who have the Egg McMuffin shit. I don't know what that is.
His Egg McMuffin shit.
He referenced that a lot more, but I just wanted to know that's a new one. The Egg McMuffin is like liquid shit, the drizzling shits.
I don't know. That's,
Egg McMuffin shit. That's a new one. But I'm sure there's some some new ones from the Raw, or maybe the Russell Wilson. Does he love Russell Wilson the real?
He's asking us, Russell Wilson the real or the Giovanni? So
The
he's
real.
opening it up.
We
to,
answered.
You know,
the real.
now he says the Seahawks the real because they sacked Aaron Rodgers 7 times in the first half.
Which
Holy shit.
I don't know if that's real, but I hope so.
He posted one that was all caps, which is unusual for him.
So he's yelling.
Yeah. Dancing with the Stars or Dancing with the Dumb Washed Up Piece of Shit.
Is it Emmitt Smith he's talking about?
Truer words have never been spoken.
Is it Emmitt Smith?
I don't know. I don't think Emmitt's on
it won't be because they're doing a best of.
Oh, jeez.
But I don't think they do it.
Bring it back.
They do it against the Monday Night Football.
How about it take me 60 minutes in the rush hour and fuck the Justin Bieber.
I'm still on. I'm still with him. Yeah. He has that eggy muffin shit.
Yeah, and he had a trip to Canada recently. So
he did,
he was chilling out in
drink cold beer
in Toronto, and he's talking about Toronto a little bit. And let's see, where was his comment about Canadians?
They're all positive though.
Yeah,
Renee, if you're listening.
Yeah, me and two intelligent Jews.
Right.
Twitter handle,
anybody's intelligent.
And my good friend Fluffy Guy. We had a good time in the Toronto.
No, he was very positive about the Canada.
He's like the intelligent Jews, which we've determined are white people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
But,
I can't say I support the whole, fuck the honey boo boo talk.
No, me
it's
neither.
not really her doing,
No, her
she's 4.
Mother's a dumpster fire. Yeah. Is she 4? Cause
I think Joel McHale, the Soup, calls her mother the human thumb. And if you look at her, it kind of does look like a thumb.
Yeah, she's the same.
Yeah.
Width all the way down, up and down. Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that usually concludes our podcast. We've gone well over today, but we had a lot to address, and so I just wanted to, just for my own personal right, and for us as NFL fans, right. I don't know who listens to this. I really don't. I'm not sure if it's down to 3, 4, or out. But I felt like he needed to be acknowledged, and so sorry the dog is making this, delaying this, but we did tributes in our original part of the podcast, so I felt that as NFL fans and as doing this as an all NFL podcast, I wanted to acknowledge this man. NFL Films, Steve Sable, he passed away last week of brain cancer at age 69. And I'll start with Brett Favre, believe it or not, said it best when he said he changed the face of the NFL without ever playing it down in it. And so true. And Peter King's piece, I think you should all read in his weekly Monday Morning Quarterback. Very nice tribute, where he felt the best way to tell the story of Sable's impact on football would be to find 10 people whose lives were impacted by Sable and who could tell what it meant to them and to the sport long term. And it includes stories about how he was once asked to be the commissioner, how he had Bill Belichick, of all people, eating out of his modest hands. How he and his dad made Vince Lombardi cry, of all men. How he's the reason Mike Mayock's on television, that he's an inspiration for a 23-year-old photography student in a small town in Ireland, like inspiring people that far away, and that he worked until Labor Day 2012, 15 days before he passed, that his fingerprints are all over the last scene of the Ray Lewis documentary, which aired just 2 days after his death. Pretty cool stuff for a man who truly did live a football life, and whose vision for the game, ideas for the game, sounds he provided to the game, and maybe most importantly, love for the game, will be sorely missed. A love and respect for its integrity that may be needed now more than ever. Steve Sable, we'll miss you. What you've done for the game, the way it's shown on television, is unprecedented. And your father too. And
yeah,
you will undoubtedly be named as a Hall of Famer at some point. And
yeah,
so we haven't done tributes since we've done the NFL portion of the all NFL all the time, but I wanted to add that because I felt it necessary. And I'll close unless there's anything else you guys want to add.
I'll just mention my own mother, who's probably not listening, but she's got to give her props because she's committed to Adam Lambert. She has taken the train from Massachusetts to Washington, D.C. tonight. Bear in mind, she has an injured foot that's been slowing her down for like over a year, but she's going to D.C. to see him in concert for like some benefit thing, some thrown together at the last minute charity thing.
Booked the hotel all on her own.
Yeah, and it's like she has like a 20% chance of having somewhere to sit, or she's gonna walk in there with her cane and hope that they have a chair for her, But yeah, she's going to see him, and
no, she's
9-hour train ride or something like that.
You know how much I love Alma Matula, so that's a fit in. Any more fantasy stuff, man?
I mean, we could put some of this on the site. I guess two things. If you don't have Arizona's defense, and there's people in leagues that have two defenses. Like there's 15 defenses gone, and Arizona isn't one of them by now. Quit trying to be cool and saying I'm starting to steal a defense every week. It's not cool. Pick up Arizona and start starting.
Especially with Troy Polamalu hurt.
That and stop starting Antonio Gates. Stop starting Antonio Gates.
Oh, definitely.
He doesn't love you, right?
He doesn't love you.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't love him no more either. I put game logs up on the site. The game logs is what tells you what you need to know. He got some 2 catches, some 3 catches, some mysterious not playing. Like his catch log looks like something that you shouldn't be starting at.
Well, that's why, and I don't. That's why I don't trust the Chargers because the Falcons can clump down.
They can beat number 1.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday.
I didn't say that.
Yesterday,
I thought you did.
3 for
Rustling
22.
through.
You only have 3 pages. How can you lose it?
If they can clamp down on your offense, then your offense isn't very good.
God.
On the road, no less. At least it did it to Payton for a quarter at home, but you don't do that. No, turnovers. Come on. Can we get rid of this man? He needs to be regurgitated.
Don't get me started.
He needs to be flushed out of the league. I mean, come on.
Flushed out.
But I thought they were good in September. No?
I don't.
Maybe
no,
not.
they pick a month.
Yeah.
And they pick 2 weeks this year.
And they suck the rest of the year.
Right. This is a disaster.
Shut up, Michael.
I think that catch just beat me. This will be the 3rd week in a row I've lost on Monday night.
Scoreboard, J. Finn.
He doesn't care.
And he's on my fantasy team. And I'm still calling him out.
He's like, I beat Arthur Breaker.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a nice catch.
Yeah, that did it.
Only because it's him.
Well, yeah.
If anybody else, it's a routine catch.
He made the catch.
And that's another one. Oh, he's a lot. That's James Jones.
Yeah. Green Bay with 3 points after 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Seahawks are the real. That's my new NFC. They're not a passing project. They're already They're already ready.
Green Bay's winning this game like 9-7.
Oh, don't be silly.
Oh, I'm not silly.
They're gonna unleash Lynch on him. They're gonna give him some Skittles at the half.
This is deep third. They must got the.
Right, it's the half. We're already in the 4th quarter.
They must got the real refs back.
Yeah, I'm saying we're already about to be in the 4th quarter.
Oh yes, about to. Taste the rainbow.
That's what Green Bay's about to do. And it's not as sweet
Taste the rainbow
as them Skittles
Marshawn Lynch's ass.
can be. It's them sour Skittles.
Ridiculous.
Fabulous.
Outrageous.